Hello and welcome to In the Wall with me, Parker Kligerman. This is our 7th episode and we're going to get right into it. But before we do, remember, use hashtag In the Wall to write in the show because this show is all about you. We want to hear from all of you out there on the internet. All right, so let's go around the world and some of the quick takes out there. Not only was NASCAR testing this week, but IndyCar was also at track with its second on-track test of the new aero screen. Ryan Hunter-Reay, as you can see there, had it. Simon Pagenaud was there. And the Indy 500 and IndyCar champions got to test it in wet conditions at Barbara Motorsports Park. The most interesting thing, Simon Pagenaud saying that he actually felt like his visibility was better than when he just had a helmet. Pretty cool. And I think the look is awesome. I like this because it's like that futuristic race car we always promised, like that video game F-Zero. Pretty slick looking. I think that's going to be awesome to see next year. All right, in the world of sports cars, the Petit Le Mans will be the last appearance for Ford as a factory-backed entrant in the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship. The Ford GT right there program has earned 14 IMSA wins, but it'll always be remembered for its most memorable win, the class win at Le Mans in 2016, 50 years after Ford's historic 1-2-3 finish there. And I've heard a little rumor that someone might be trying to run those cars privately. All right, so now you see it. Those are Formula 1 cars in the wet, right? Well, that might be a possibility this weekend, although Formula 1 is keeping an eye on the Typhoon Hagibis, which has the potential to threaten this weekend's Japanese Grand Prix at Suzuka. In a statement, the FIA and track officials said they were monitoring the situation and that the safety of everyone at Suzuka was the top priority. I also saw some of the drivers were really hoping that they come up with a plan early on for where they want to have qualifying because it looks like Saturday could be the worst day. Hopefully everyone stays safe out there with that typhoon heading that way. All right, so some of the biggest news this week was NASCAR testing out the Gen 7, also known as the Next Gen, or as I like to call it, the 2021 car. And Austin Dillon was lucky enough to get to drive it. Take a look at this.
Hey guys, we're here at Richmond testing the Next Gen car. I want to show you around the car here. We're going to take a quick view with the camera, show you what's going on. This is not the locked-in body style. All the OEMs are working on their separate body style, but this is what we're testing, and the test is going well so far. I think there's some really cool things to come from this car in 21, and can't wait to get to work on it. We've had fun, and I really like working on it. It's a lot of fun to drive.
All right, so through the power of the internet, we have the guy from that very video, Austin Dillon himself, here on FaceTime. Thanks for joining, bud. We just saw your video talking about the Gen 7 Next Gen 2021 car, and so I got to start with, how'd it feel? What was that like?
Man, truthfully, it was a great test. Everybody at RCR, all the vendors that came together on this car did a great job. Truthfully, it couldn't have went any smoother. We were learning a lot in a short period of time, so it was fun to make adjustments on a car that usually when you go to a racetrack now, you talk about different things, track bar and things that are not on the Next Gen car. And we got to mess with adjustments that you normally don't. So that was a lot of fun, and the car felt really good to drive. Felt like a race car.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've heard some maybe independent suspension back there, that sort of thing. I love the look of those wheels. We've got some questions from around the Twitterverse out there. So we're going to start with a couple of these, I believe. And this first one is from Back of the Pack. He says, will driver ability to adjust the car while driving increase or decrease with the Next Gen, in your opinion? What did you guys see in that first test?
The driver ability to adjust the car, is that question meaning like, is there going to be driver adjustments in the car?
I think that's where he's going with it. Yeah, I think so.
Well, I think their option to have adjustments in the car, there is an option to do that, but I feel like NASCAR still wants to have, the pit crews make an adjustment on the car. So when you come down pit road and make a pit stop, they want the pit crews to, be able to change the wedge or move something, the ability to move something to make an adjustment. I feel like the TV likes to see that, and there might be an adjustment for both the driver and the pit crew.
Got it. Well, I didn't really like the track bar adjustments anyway when we had them. I never felt like I did anything with those, and it just left another annoying thing for me to do in the car. So if it doesn't happen, I'm not missing it. I think we had another one out there here from Marvin Blue. He says, basically, so the new Next Gen car due out in 2021, could we possibly see the return of bump drafting at some of the super speedways, and will these cars be more fuel efficient than the Gen 6 car? I think the fuel efficient part, we're probably going to wait to see where the new engines come in later on. But bump drafting, I don't know. I feel like we bump draft a lot already. right?
We do.
Yeah.
I feel like the biggest thing about the next gen car is the body. You know, the ability to be able to bump and not have a steel body on the car that cuts tires.
Yep.
To be more like the Xfinity Series, where you see guys bounce off the wall, continue to be able to keep going. And I think they want more aggression on the track and the ability to kind of rub and rubbing's racing, you know. So I think that's what this next gen's car should be allowing to see more of that.
Good, yeah. I know at Swept that Chase Elliott talked about too when after Vegas he was like, we got to get these fenders away and make them more durable because we're cutting each other down just from taps off restarts. It's crazy. We have one more out there from the Twitterverse, and this is from Dillon. I'm just going to start with that. I'm not going to go into his full name. He says, do you think the Gen 7 will not only be the car of the future of NASCAR, but the car of what is best for NASCAR? Basically, is this the best direction for NASCAR? I'm going to start off by saying, from everything I'm hearing, yes, but you're the one who drove it. From your first impressions, what do you think for the future of NASCAR?
I think 100% that is a great move for NASCAR. I had so much fun driving that car yesterday and the day. You know, I talked to some of the guys at the test and was like, man, if we had our current car here side by side, where we've had years of testing, I feel like I would be complaining about something at this point in time. So it was cool to work on different adjustments. It's just the future. It's what you have on the road today, more of that. The shifting was great. Just a lot of changes in that car that are what we need for our sport to move in the future, for more OEMs to be interested in our sport. And it's a great car for NASCAR in general. And I can't wait to see, you know, it's still a race car. You saw fall off at Richmond. We saw fall off over a 40-lap run, very similar to what we have today, but it just drove a lot different. The steering was really quick and reactive, and that's fun and different than what we have today. So I feel like you'll see drivers being able to get their cars loose and catch them and be able to be more aggressive because of that.
I love it. That sounds awesome. Yeah, that's one thing I just want to go into, just sort of in terms particularly the driving, though. You know, you mentioned the shifting, which I guess was sequential, and the lack of the rear quarter panel. Like, does the car get a little bit more edgy on entry? Those big, I mean, I love those wheels. Are the brakes better because we can fit bigger brakes in there? So it just overall drives better, is what you're saying.
So, you know, I was kind of learning, like I said, at a fast pace, but, you know, when we got the brakes better throughout, you could definitely get in the corner hard. And we were like, I think 700 pounds of downforce down from what we currently are driving. And but with the ability of the brake pedal, you could get in the corner and have similar lap times. Yes, if you carried too much center speed, you had more of a yaw moment. You got looser in the middle of the corner. You definitely knew that trunk was a little bit shorter back there when you carried too much speed. But it was it's fun, man. It's a different feel than the current car we have, and I think all the drivers will be excited about that.
Got it. Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait to get a chance in one of those. All right. So tonight, basically, when this goes on to YouTube, will be the finale of the eNASCAR Peak Antifreeze Series in iRacing. And one of your drivers for Team Dillon is in the championship 4. What do you think his chances are?
I think it's great, man. I saw Blake at the Roval. He was walking around checking things out and, you know, talked to him a little bit. He's pumped. He's put a lot of time and effort into this. I hope he can get it done for all of our partners here at Team Dillon. I think Neat's on the car. So, Blake Reynolds, man, go get it done tonight. I'll be tuning in. It'll be
Awesome.
our first shot at a championship. I'm really pumped.
Yeah, it's going to be good. Big one for him, racing for over $100,000 in that series for all those drivers. It's going to be cool as hell. All right, so speaking of cool things, this weekend at Talladega, you and I will both be in the race, but you guys have something very cool happening with RCR in Talladega, being it's your 50th anniversary at Richard Childress Racing. They're actually letting the 3-car of Dale Earnhardt, the one that he won his last win at Talladega, pace the field. So there'll be 2 of you out there, basically, 2 3-cars. That's got to be a pretty cool moment for you guys.
Yeah, it was. It's awesome to see that car on the shop floor, really. My grandfather's psyched. I tried to get him to wear an open-face helmet. I don't know if he's going to. But Johnny Morris from Bass Pro Shop is going to be riding along with him. He's going to be in the car. So I told him, I said, man, I hope we get the pole with the 3-car and I can bump you old farts around the racetrack a little bit. So hopefully Danny Stopp and the boys got a good ride for us for qualifying.
Got it. Well, you've been really good at getting those qualifying paces out there. All right, so last thing, though, I know I'm driving a Toyota, you're driving a Chevy, so there's a bit of manufacturer loyalty, but, come late in the race, we need a bump drafting partner. You feel like you're going to work with me? I mean, can we work a deal here?
Man, you know how it is there. We're pretty OEM sold this year. It's been a good thing for us at Chevrolet.
That's it. Just get off. Cut this off. Cut him out. I don't want to talk to him anymore. Now, you know what? It was really nice to come on, but we're done now. Just leave. All right. So we're done with him. You know what? I leave you with this.
そうですね。順調。結構うまいですね。はい。さあ車体が一部壊れておりますけども、はい。笑顔のレースとなりそうです。さあ、
Hey Motorsports fans, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit subscribe before you go for all the latest news and highlights across motorsports.